Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach who has lost and maintained a 140-pound weight loss. And today we're going to talk about something that I get asked about a lot as a weight loss and nutrition coach, something that I've really had to deep dive in for myself as I healed my relationship with food. And that is, why can't I stop eating? How to stop overeating. I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to do just that. And I will tell you, these 10 tips are life-changing. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Down in the description box, I will have nutrition coaching. Highly recommend those customized macros and calories. This will give you your specific personalized information, calories, macros on how to reach your goals, as well as one-on-one coaching for questions, accountability, or to talk with me directly. Links and discounts to my favorite healthy things are also down in that description box. So let's talk all about why you can't stop, why I can't stop eating and overeating. There are so many reasons we can find ourselves reaching for food. What we need to do is identify our personal triggers and what causes us to overeat and what causes us to stop eating. Even when we're not hungry, maybe we're full and satisfied and we still eat. We need to figure out what our personal triggers are. So I want to share with you 10 tips on how to stop overeating, stop reaching for food when you aren't hungry. First, let's talk about, why do we overeat? Why can't we stop eating? You may eat for emotional reasons. Boredom could be another factor. Others overeat because they're hungry and not filling up on the right foods. Once you identify why you're eating, you may move on to following a more mindful eating practice. Tip number 1, don't skip meals. Don't go hours upon hours in between eating. You should be hungry when it's time to eat a meal or snack, not starving. If you find that you are starving, like you could eat your arm before a meal or snack, you're waiting too long between meals. I personally eat every 2 to 3 hours. You probably heard breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It kind of is. People who eat breakfast typically have a lower body weight, less fat, and typically eat less fat and cholesterol throughout the day. You also should be breaking your fast. That's what breakfast stands for, break fast, after you wake up. I recommend to my clients that you should eat something within an hour of waking. Here's an example of how to build a healthy breakfast, since breakfast is so important. You want to make sure that you're choosing something that's whole grain, some type of protein, some type of dairy, which is also going to deliver you more protein, and fruits and vegetables. So building a healthy meal, not skipping meals, is really essential for stopping the constant craving for food. Tip number 2, and this is a really good one, pause before eating. Figure out, are you actually hungry? Or is it head hunger? If you are biologically, physically hungry, if your body is asking for food, that's very different than head hunger. You saw food, you smelled food, you thought about food, you're bored, you're tired, you're angry, you're happy. Those are reasons that we can eat based on head hunger, not actual hunger. And we should only eat based on actual hunger. And stopping and pausing and really reflecting and asking ourselves, are we hungry, will help us not overeat. Some signs of actual true hunger that you can look for is low energy, the physical act of your stomach growling, or maybe you're getting a little irritable, a little hangry. Those are all signs that you're physically hungry, and that's when we should be eating and nourishing our body. And that leads me into number 3, and that's banishing any type of distraction around food. If you typically chow down in front of the television, change your location of where you're eating. Maybe tell yourself that you can only eat at the kitchen table or at the island in your kitchen. You can't eat while standing. You can't eat in front of the TV. You can't mindlessly eat while you're working at your computer. You have to know your personal triggers. Where do you struggle when it comes to mindlessly eating? What you can do is start by eating one meal every day without distraction. And once you get in the habit of that, then you can start eating more of your meals and snacks throughout the day without distraction. Really deep dive into yourself and figure out, where do you typically mindlessly eat? And that's the first place that you should have a more structured, mindful meal. Tip number 4, and this is something I constantly have to work on, and that's chew more bites. Make sure you chew your food thoroughly and you're slowing down your eating. Did you know that experts actually recommend that you chew each bite of food 30 times. You can enjoy the flavors and the textures, and it allows your body time to connect with your brain that you've consumed that food. Choose smaller plates to watch your portions. Slow down your eating. Check in with yourself throughout your meal or snack, and when you're satisfied, stop eating. We shouldn't be eating until we're full. We should be eating until we're satisfied. Just like we should be eating when we're hungry, not starving. And that leads me into tip number 5, and that's keeping track of what you're eating. Certain foods may be triggers for you. Certain environments may be triggers. Certain emotional states, happy, angry, sad, mad, those can all be triggers to overeat. Keeping a food diary, tracking your food, not only shows you what you're eating and how much you're eating, but can also show you patterns of the foods that you're choosing. On days that you emotionally eat, what foods are you choosing? Versus on days that you truly listen to your body and you choose good food, what is the consensus of that? What makes up that good day of eating? So keeping track of your food not only can help you know what you're eating, how much, to make sure you're in a deficit or at maintenance, but can also help you learn why you're eating, which in turn can help you learn your personal triggers and work on your relationship with food. And that will help you to stop overeating. Tip number 6, address stress in your life. Stress eating is the number one reason people eat emotionally. Head hunger eat is typically from stress. Always identify your emotions before you eat. Again, are you eating based on hunger or eating on emotion? Sad or upset, angry or isolated, these can be emotional reasons for eating. So when you check in with yourself, pausing before you consume food, are you eating based on these things? And if so, we want to reconsider that. There's absolutely no wrong or right way to feel, but what we do with those feelings is what we need to focus on. Take a deep breath. Check in with yourself, engage in another activity. If you feel like you're eating for head hunger, find something else to do. And typically by doing that something else, whatever that is, taking a walk, watching TV, scrolling on TikTok, that can sometimes take your mind off of food, and the emotional eating will go away. And you won't go eat the snack because you're actually not physically hungry. You're emotionally hungry. So again, checking in with yourself, pausing and not eating based on emotion. Tip number 7, eat at home. You can control what goes into your meals, how much you're eating, exactly what you're consuming if you're eating at home. Restaurant portions are typically much larger than an actual portion. Most of the time what you order at a restaurant is food for 2 to 4 people. So you can unintentionally overeat. A lot of these foods have lots of fat and calories and unhealthy ingredients, lots of seed oils. And like I said, you don't necessarily know exactly what is in a restaurant meal. So if you can consume the majority of your meals at home, 80 to 90%, and only eat out once a week or so, that's really going to help you control the amount of calories and the types of foods that you're consuming. Cooking at home just helps contribute to overall healthy eating. Tip number 8, choose those wholesome foods, whole real foods. The less processed the food, the better. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't have processed foods, because you can. It's about balance. I always say 80-20. 80% whole real food, 20% fun food. Here's some swaps that you can make, and these are some really easy swaps that will help you go towards that 80% whole foods, 20% fun food. And that's swapping sodas and sugary drinks for water, herbal tea, and coffee, sweetened cereals for whole grain cereals with fruit, ice cream for low-fat yogurt with fruit, cookies and packaged desserts for popcorn, fruit kebabs, and homemade low-sugar granola, and chips for fresh veggie sticks with hummus. So these are just some examples of some really simple and delicious swaps that you can make. And remember, everything is about balance and moderation. We don't want to eliminate or restrict any food or food group. That's the number one cause of binge eating, but we do want to focus on 80% whole real food. Tip number 9, drink more water. Water is such an amazing tool for weight loss. It flushes everything out. Water also takes up room in your stomach, so it can help you feel a little bit fuller between meals. It's going to hydrate you. I mean, the list goes on and on why you need to be drinking your water. Also, we often confuse hunger with thirst. If you feel hungry, drink something first, and sometimes that will satisfy that feeling of hunger. That's one of the main things that we can confuse is, are we hungry or are we thirsty? And a lot of the times we're just thirsty, maybe a little bit dehydrated, and that will take away the need or the desire for food. It's recommended to have no less than 64 ounces of water every day. That's basically 8 8-ounce glasses, but I always recommend to my coaching clients, if you can hit 80 to 100, that's even better. And ideally, if you can get in a gallon of water every day, that is where you're going to really thrive when it comes to water. Now, here's something interesting. You don't only have to drink water. There are other things out there that that give you water. Those are things like milk, pure fruit juice, and herbal teas. Foods with high water weights are also an excellent choice, like watermelon and spinach. You should be drinking water, but you can also fill in the gaps with some of these amazing foods and drinks that help reach your water goals. And tip number 10, find support. It is so important to have support on a health and wellness journey, and a support while you're working on your relationship with food, while you're learning how to really stop overeating and eating based on emotion. You can utilize social media, you can utilize friends, family, support groups, your doctor. You can even utilize people like myself, a weight loss and nutrition coach, who can now help you navigate through this journey. It's really important to find a support system. It's going to help you along the way, but it's also going to offer you support and accountability. And accountability is huge when we're trying to reach those goals. So let me know down below which one of these 10 tips really resonated with you. These truly have helped me heal my relationship with food, have helped me lose and maintain my 140-pound weight loss, and I just feel like a healthier person overall. I don't eat out of emotion anymore. These 10 tips will really help you get to where you need to be emotionally to help with the physical part of a health and wellness journey. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful, give it a big, huge thumbs up. Subscribe, turn your bell on, because I do upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Down in the description box, I will have nutrition coaching if you're interested in working with me directly, as well as macros and calories and healthy, all of the links and discounts to my favorite healthy things. Thank you again for watching. See you next time. Bye.